Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the dark side of fat loss. If you don't know me, my name is Sean Croxton from undergroundwellness.com, and I'm here to share with you why I wrote the dark side of fat loss and also why we put together the Underground Cookbook as well as the Underground Workout Manual to help you achieve your fat loss goals and your health objectives. First off, let me tell you just a little bit about me. I went to a California State University where I studied kinesiology. You're probably wondering, what exactly is kinesiology? Well, kinesiology is the study of movement, and I emphasized in fitness, nutrition, and health. And my intention of taking that program was to graduate, of course, and go out into the world and rid the world of obesity one person at a time. And so I got my dream job after graduation. I became a certified personal trainer. And so I took my education, what I had learned in college, and I started applying it to real people. And my approach back then, I laugh at it now, was all about the food guide pyramid. It was about a diet that was high in grains, high in fiber, high in complex carbohydrates, and low in fat. I was all about calories in and calories out. I was a brutal trainer. I would work my clients out hard, and then I would put them on a treadmill or an elliptical for an hour or two. I was mean. I was hard on my clients, but the thing was, when it came down to evaluations, when it came down to stepping on the scale and doing body fat tests, what we found a lot of the time is that my clients' weights, their body fat, would not change. And a lot of times, it went in the wrong direction. And being the educated personal trainer that I was, I said, hey, this couldn't have anything to do with my scientifically proven fat loss program. Calories in, calories out. It's the law of thermodynamics. How hard can this be? So I put all the blame on my clients. I said, hey, you're partying too much. You're not sticking to your diet. You're cheating. You didn't do your cardio. You are not doing what I told you that you should do. And gosh, you can only imagine how frustrated they were with all the work that they put in. And the thing was that this lack of results that we were getting was happening again and again and again and again. And finally, I had to take a look in the mirror. And I said to myself, hey, maybe I'm doing something wrong here. You see, the problem was that I was stuck in what I like to call the box. As a society, for the most part, we're stuck in the box. And that box is all about one thing, or I should say two things: diet and exercise. Whenever we're looking to lose fat, whenever we're actually looking to get healthy in general, we say, okay, I'm going to eat less and I'm going to exercise more. And you may lose 5, maybe 10, maybe 20 pounds, but then your metabolism starts to slow down, right? Then that whole willpower, this kind of thing kind of goes out the door, and you find yourself eating everything in the refrigerator. And you find that your weight starts creeping back on up. And then you ended up where you started, right? And then what happens for a lot of people is they actually get heavier than they were when they started their fat loss program. And we do this again and again and again. It's what Albert Einstein would have called the definition of insanity. We're doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So taking that information and thinking about it, I said, hey, something's got to change here. So I decided to join the dark side. You see, I hit the books hard. I was looking for information that was the complete opposite of what I had learned in my college program. I literally read hundreds of books. I laid in bed for 4, 5, 6, maybe 8 hours a day just going through information. I looked for real experts who were working with real people and getting real results. And I took a little bit from here, and I took a little bit from there, and I took a little bit from over here, and I put them all together into a comprehensive program that absolutely works. You see, here's the thing. We think that we lose fat in order to get healthy, but I don't see it that way. The way that I see it is that we have to get healthy to lose fat. You see, I work with a lot of people. And when I'm talking on the phone with a prospective client, and I say, hey, Mrs. Nelson, what's going on with you? She says, oh, I'm 30 pounds overweight. And I say, well, tell me what else. And she says, oh, I've got insomnia. Oh, I've got digestive problems. I've got constipation. Oh, I've got gas and bloating. Oh, I've got brain fog. I've got mood issues, depression, and anxiety. And I say, Mrs. Nelson, would you be happy 30 pounds lighter, but you still have insomnia, but you're still gassy, but you still have brain fog, but you still have to take your antidepressants? And she says, absolutely not. You see, we need to get outside of the box. We need to consider and work with diet and exercise, but we also have to have some lateral, holistic type of thinking. And so the information that I was able to get from those books, from what I had learned from practitioners, I was able to apply to real people and get real results. And I said, hey, I can't just allow this information to stay on the underground. We got to get it out to the mainstream. We have to get it out to more people. And so I started a YouTube channel in 2007. And it grew pretty fast. And now we've got over 40,000 viewers. We've got over 8.5 million views. And I said, hey, we just can't stop there. So a year later, I went ahead and I started the Underground Wellness Radio Show. I said to myself, I've read all of these books by all of these different authors. Now, you know what I want to do? I want to pick their brains. And so I've interviewed literally hundreds of authors who are, again, getting real results with real people. That's what it's all about. And so recently I said, hey, let's put all of this into a book. Let's go ahead and write my own manifesto, because I can't expect the average person to have the passion and the desire that I have to sit for probably 10,000 hours in a room and read this and learn this information. So I said, I'm going to put everything that people need to know about fat loss and how to get healthy into one single volume, and that is The Dark Side of Fat Loss. And not only is it in The Dark Side of Fat Loss, but it's in The Dark Side of Fat Loss in a way that everybody can understand. You see, I'm the king of what they call edutainment. And that's a hybrid of education and entertainment at the same time. I'm not here to bore you with like jargon and all these big words. I want to make this reasonable. I want to make this comprehensible for everybody out there. And so let me tell you a little bit about the book. The first chapter, hold no myths to be true. There are so many myths with this whole calories in, calories out formula. We act like fat loss is a math problem. It is not. We act like there's truth to this 3,500 calories in a pound of fat thing. That is a myth. Can somebody out there show me some proof that there are 3,500 calories in a pound of fat? You will not be able to find it. Chapter 2, it's all about the hormones. We focus so much on calories while forgetting nutrition that we forget about hormones, especially two hormones that I really get into in this chapter. One is insulin. Insulin is the hormone that is responsible for fat storage. Our diets should be implemented in order to control your insulin levels. There are foods that crank up your insulin levels. There are some foods that don't. We talk about that in The Dark Side of Fat Loss. We also talk about leptin. I'm not even going to talk about leptin here, because I'm going to go into a whole half-hour, spiel on it. And so I'm going to allow you to go to the book and look at leptin and how it works. And it's really going to start making a lot of sense how you continue to over and over again put yourself through a voluntary famine, and your body and its survival systems don't like when you do that. You reduce your metabolism. You don't want to do that. You definitely don't want to reduce your metabolism, and that's why you continue to hit a plateau. Chapter 3, all about fear. We've been told that saturated fat is bad for us. We've been told that vegetable oils are good for us. You guys ever wonder, this is something I like to ask people. I say, how does an old school food cause a brand new disease? I don't understand how that works. We've been eating particular foods for millions of years, and all of a sudden, like 50 years ago, we said we're not supposed to eat them anymore, and that they give us heart disease and cancer. That doesn't make any sense. The human species, we don't change that fast where old foods can cause new diseases. It doesn't make sense, but we're scared of food these days. And it's the foods that we're afraid of are the ones that are going to help you to lose fat. The next chapter is all about what we like to call real food. Just eat real food. We have so many diets out there, and they're so complicated, and they tend to stress us out because you can't eat that, but you can't eat this. I just want you to just eat real food. So I show you what real food's all about. Chapter 5, listen to your body. Like half the working population out there, they crash about a half hour after lunch. You know what I'm saying? They go to lunch, they have their whatever type of sandwich, they go back to the office and they want to fall asleep and they drink coffee, and they don't put two and two together. And so in this chapter, I give you a list of real foods, and I'll also show you how you can listen to your body language, because your body's always going to tell you when you're eating right and when you're eating wrong. You see, there is no one-size-fits-all diet. Your body will tell you when you're doing it right. So with our body language logs, you're going to be able to print them out and fill them out for about 7 to 10 days. And when you finish that, there will never be another day where you have a meal in front of you where you don't know exactly how that meal is going to make you feel. It is absolutely awesome. I do it with my clients all the time. Number six, we get away from the diet aspect and we start talking about other things. First off, stress. Stress makes your pants tight. Stress makes you fat. Stress increases a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol increases blood sugar. Blood sugar increases insulin. Insulin causes insulin resistance over time, and you start to gain weight. We are stressed out. We're living in a state of chronic stress. Stress can be just as bad for you as bad carbohydrates. The next chapter, we talk about sleep. We live in a sleep-deprived society. We live in a state of, in the summer, you see, back in the day, summer was a time of feast. And then winter was a time of famine. So during the summer, we fattened ourselves up for that winter famine. Now what do we have? We have light bulbs, we have Facebook, we have Twitter. We're up all hours of the night continuing to prepare ourselves for this famine that never comes. See, the body can't be fooled. The body, from a hormonal standpoint, is always going to be ahead of the game. When it's light all hours of the day, it says, hey, that famine's coming, let's pack on some weight. And so you are going to be fascinated by this particular chapter. The next chapter, digestion. I always say, you can have the greatest diet in the history of the world, but if you got bad digestion, it's simply not going to work. People, I think it's 60% of American adults have some type of digestive dysfunction. And this chapter is going to outline what these may be, whether it be bacterial overgrowth. You may have intense sugar cravings. That can actually be fungal overgrowth in your gut because fungi, they love to eat sugar. I'll tell you all about that. We'll talk about parasites, but we got to talk about them. We talk about food sensitivities and leaky gut syndrome. We talk about gluten intolerance and celiac disease. We go through everything. It's going to give you some insight to what is going on inside of you. The next chapter, toxins. You may have not heard this term, but it's going to come up a lot in the next few years. It's called obesogen. There's a lot of research out there showing that particular chemicals that we spray around our homes, that we rub all over our bodies, that we consume in our food supply are actually making changes to our hormones. Remember, it's all about the hormones. They're making our hormones fire at the wrong time. They're overproducing hormones. They're underproducing hormones, and these are making us fat. Yes, toxins can actually make you fat. And I saved the best for last. Mindset. Do it. This is what it's all about. I can give you all the nuts and bolts. I can give you all of the tools. But if your mind's not right, if you don't have it up here, if you don't have that will to do it, then it's not going to work. So we talk about the 6 keys to making this program work for you. Now, with the Dark Side of Fat Loss, you also get a free bonus. And that free bonus is the Underground Cookbook. You see, we have literally hundreds of thousands of listeners and viewers and readers all over the world. So I put out a message to them. I said, hey, I want you to submit your real food recipes. And so they did that. We put them in the book. But not only do you have recipes, but we have about 80 recipes there. About half of those, a little over 40 of those recipes came with videos from real foodists, real undergrounders, real darksiders from around the world, so you can follow along with that video while you're making that particular recipe at home. This is an amazing package that we have to offer to you. And last but not least, when you purchase the Dark Side of Fat Loss and get your free cookbook bonus, you will also get the option of buying Brett Klicka's Underground Workout Manual. If you don't know Brett Klicka, he is my main man. We do a lot of Friday Fun Day workouts together. He was the personal trainer of the year nominee by the Idea Fitness Foundation. And he put together the most awesome 12-week workout program that you will ever find. Not only is it a book, but also he put in this 12-week workout program where there's, most programs have like, the start of a squat and then the end of a squat. And they don't give you any of the stuff in between. They have like a little description of how to put it. Well, we've got the pictures in there, you can click on them and it opens up a video where we've got Brett teaching you exactly how to do the different exercises. Literally 12 weeks of workouts, 5 days a week. You will never do the same workout twice. This is an incredible package. It's so incredible that we're giving you a 60-day money-back guarantee. You don't get any results, we'll give you your money back, no questions asked. Okay, that's how confident we are that the dark side of fat loss is going to get the results that you've been looking for. And so look down there, we've got testimonials. You can learn more about the products that we're offering here. And hopefully you click that order now button and we'll see you on the dark side. Peace.